equations that involve fractions and how to eliminate them. And so I've got x squared minus 1 over x plus 2, x plus 1 equals 2. Okay, so this type of question, it won't just be given like this. It would usually lead in with saying solve for x, right? And that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, so ideally this will lead towards a quadratic equation. As you can see, there's a denominator here, there's fractions involved, and so we apply what we call the LCD. So the LCD, as I can see clearly, is going to be x plus 1. And if I insert negative 1 in there, this denominator becomes 0. And that's a problem for us because negative 1 will now result in a 0 denominator, which makes the equation undefined. So that's my LCD, but I must state a restriction saying that x cannot equal to negative 1. Okay, so let's apply the LCD. When I apply the LCD, I multiply this term by x plus 1. Right, and whatever I do to the one side I must do to the other side, so I multiply that by x plus 1, and then this and this cancels out, which leaves me with only x squared minus 1 on this side is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 1. Okay, now it's just a simple case of adding up like terms, distributing this into 2x plus 2, and that leaves me with x squared. Bring that 2 over and I've got negative 3, and that's negative 2x, right, is equal to 0. Factors of 3 I subtract to give me 2. That's a fairly simple case, and you should be used to this by now. It's going to be x and x, and that's going to be 3 and 1. It's going to be negative 2, positive 1, and that's equal to 0. Remember that the 0 equivalence must be present over here, because if it's not, you cannot solve this, okay? And therefore that tells us that x is equal to negative 1 or x is equal to positive 3. Now if you look, when we started this thing we stated there was a restriction, and that restriction was I cannot have x equal to negative 1. So the only valid solution here is x equals positive 3, because this one is not valid due to the restriction. Okay. And that restriction was here above. That's our restriction. Okay, so that's example number 2. Remember, learn actively, write, rewind, pause, play, and try and explain this to a friend as well. Okay.